crazy time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just saw on the news before I came over here that they arrested some knucklehead that threw a Molotov cocktail inside a postal box in Arizona. And they know there was some balance in there, but there was also other mail and stuff. It's one of the overnight blue boxes and stuff. Stuff. Now, it just so happens, I don't know if they do this with all the boxes. Camera at the building right close in front of us. Oh, yeah. And they arrested the guy already and stuff like this. Come on. So, well.
Yeah, she told me she.
Okay.
Maybe she's trying to find parking.
Yeah, the biggest thing, tell her to check on what they're taking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the, and
I don't think so.
that, like this, and get all their stuff.
There you go. Yeah, I saw the line.
Well, our system,
said
other system, but our still going point rated. Okay, get so many points. You're supposed to bring 3 references. You get so many points. Bring in 3 references.
And
you bring in 2, you get 2 points. You get points for education, experience, their test score. I mean, the interview is points and stuff. So it's like out of like 10 categories, they do all add up all the points. So those points are the ones they have a cutoff somewhere. Above it goes to school and it gets accepted. Everybody below gets a letter saying come back to us. So don't blow anything off.
Yeah, I got the website for $5.97. That's the best one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping that it's because she's just.
everyone, I'd like to give council just a couple of minutes to get here. She's a parking spot, so we're going to hold off a minute.
Fight that are all they do as well.
They do some other stuff too. Not as physical. Yeah. They're
not
just
dealing with big IDs.
Yeah, they're just not as maker in the air. And they kind of work in crews, you know what I mean? So we're like in a buddy system. There's 2 of us. Now there might be 12 of us in a gang, and everybody does their part. So they just sometimes it takes 4 people to get out. But pipe fitters pretty much are more, you know, working with stuff. They each so.
It's so cute.
Here we go. All right, we're going to get underway here. I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Member Tim?
Here.
Minister?
Here.
Vice President Lowe?
Here.
President Roush?
Here.
Secretary Bailey? Here.
All right, members of the board should have received electronically copies of last month's meeting minutes. If there is no request for an amendment, I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Clerk's report.
We are over 21,000 walk-in voters, which is over 15,000 or 15% of the voters, in addition to the by-mail absentees. And that includes over 100 voters that were at the vote-mobile in Couts on Tuesday. So in 3 hours, they did 100 voters at the vote-mobile.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's the highest day that we've had. So the poll workers and the election staff are very, very busy and working long hours and struggling to keep up, but they are doing it. And I just want to commend them for all of the hard work and effort and everything that they're putting into this election.
Great. Anything else? I think we would echo those sentiments too. We know everybody's working really hard. Directors, please.
As was said with the by mail ballots, all right, with the by mail ballots, then we're at over 25,000 instead of before. So, as she tracked it, and we're at over 2020 numbers at this point, which was, the COVID going on, so we have more people voting early and voting by mail. So it's been a really busy election, and usually the last 2 weeks are our busiest 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're prepared for that number to really just jump up. So.
Wow.
As prepared as we can be. Today is the last day for absentee by mail applications to be received in our office. They have to be in our office by 11:59 p.m. for them to get a by mail ballot. Otherwise, it's really only until before election day.
Are we confident the calendar allows for the mail to do this as?
Personally, I wouldn't, but by law, they have till Thursday 11:59 p.m. It's kind of hit and miss. We don't know. We don't have control over the mail.
Right.
Stuff comes back. We try to address it as soon as possible. But I mean, my husband got a by mail ballot and we had it in 4 days. So.
Okay. And the deadline for returning is?
Election day by 6 p.m.
Thank you.
So so I'm keeping these numbers straight in my head. We have 21,000 people that have voted in person already.
Correct.
And then we have another 4,000 that have already voted via mail. Am I doing the right math on that? 21,025 for
right before we left.
Okay.
Ran it a little bit early.
Yeah.
22,096 in person.
Okay.
And that's
22. Wow.
67 in by mail.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it jumped up from the time she left to the time I left. The lines are rapid. Go to NERC.
Yes, go to NERC. We're telling everybody to go to NERC.
Yeah, I've been telling them too.
Go
I told 'em-
Bass Pro, have a nice lunch at the steakhouse, and stay there.
Yeah, whatever. I've been telling them the same thing. If you get jammed up at any polling places, though, I just always warn them about that intersection, because that intersection on 249 and Mariplex Drive and stuff, when those trucks get rolling on the way to the steel mills and stuff, they got heavy loads. They blow that light quite often.
Oh.
So just be careful. Be mindful of the environment you're in with the trucks and stuff in the mill traffic. So
Can you tell by the numbers at NERC whether people are actually taking us up on that?
They are.
NERC, they're at over 300 this year, which
300.
they already beat pretty much their record every other year. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are utilizing it. We're really trying to push that because of the no waiting.
I wish we had a bigger sign out there, though. That little sign, I see it, so but it's a small sign. It tells you vote that way.
Yeah.
And stuff like this, But
yeah, the bus and NERC are in a competition right now because as of right now, the NERC is only beating the bus by like 30.
Yes, it's a challenge for the two groups.
There was a bigger sign, but the bus stole it.
Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is actually general election updated. Like maybe we just did that unless there's more to share.
We have to read we did publish the legals in the paper. Here's a copy of the legals if anyone has a magnifying glass and would like to read them. They are here. And then we have the credentials that everyone needs to sign for the media.
Okay. take a minute to do that?
They've already been calling for them.
Oh, I think it's on that one.
Alright. I don't know if I was supposed to print or what, but I just didn't. Maybe it should be better. No, it looks the same. Scan, I think the one. All right. Campaign finance update, please.
As per custom, we held the campaign finance refresher class on 11/8, which was right before the campaign finance reports were due. And this time, Kenner did a really cool thing. He made a cheat sheet, which went over the common mistakes of campaign finance reports. So anyone who was in the class got kind of like a heads up on this is what he looks at, so they could make sure that all of those things were corrected. We had about 5 people that were in the class at that time, but so it was a good class, and it was nice that it was different than we still went through the regular PowerPoint show, but having the little cheat sheet available ahead of time, I think really helped. And we ended up with one delinquent report, the South County Dems, and so it'll be a $50 fine for them. Do you have something?
Was that and I'm sorry, Kenner, before you start, is that their first offense?
Yes, they're on the committee this year.
Okay, so they have the ability to go through the waiver process then, to the extent that they would elect to do that, which would seem very, very wise considering it's one day. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
But if they choose not to.
Right. Their choice.
I have reviewed all 24, not eligible, and 12 need amendments, and 12 are perfectly okay. Of the 12 that need amendments, there are only really 2 that are bad. I mean, I say bad,
Like I did them.
they completely missed. The rest of them were just minor errors and will be easily subject to correction within less than 5 minutes. So there, even though there's a large number that still have errors, the amount and scope of the errors are going down. It's definitely improved. The biggest problem is new candidates and not attending the sessions themselves, and in some cases not listening, because one of the candidates called me 4 different times about the reports, and it is still a horrible mess. I mean, I typed up a full page of errors, 5-page report. So it's a very serious matter.
So these errors now become an ongoing dialogue between the office and you and those candidates and their committees?
As I do with all of them when they're parents, I mark them up, I show them exactly where they need to amend, and I actually tell them what needs to be amended, how to amend it,
Okay.
where it needs to go.
Okay.
It's an ongoing process between all of them. As I say, most of them were like missing dates, not coding, or not coding properly, or putting a corporation on the other, or an LLC on the corporation that could be other problems not caught. They're improving all the time.
Great. Thank you for what you do. So back to South County and the $50. Do we have to do anything to make sure that they get a letter offering a waiver?
I just didn't know what date you guys want to schedule for folks to come in. If you want to do it on the date that we're doing certifying the election or at a different day. Also, maybe another thought would be is if we're sending out folks notices to amend, you could put them in with the group that is going to be giving, if they failed it to time on the delinquent defective.
Yeah, trigger date. Yeah.
Have those, so has that already been, so you're waiting, you guys haven't been sent out yet?
No, I just turned the reports over.
Okay.
We're going to certify the election on the 15th, right? That's
Right.
the deadline. I mean, my 2 cents is let's set that one for the 15th, and after we're done certifying the election, because that time may vary, and hopefully that they choose to utilize the waiver process.
Yeah.
So at least we can knock that one out, and then any delinquent amendments, then I suppose we can address after the fact. That would be my thought.
And address those in December.
Correct. Or whenever we so choose.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Do you second November 15th?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Any other campaign finance business to attend to?
Yeah, we all received the email from Sunday that she received from Blake Jefferson. He was requesting a reduction in his fine. It was already reduced $500 when we initially imposed it. Because it was his first offense.
This is one that we've already
reduced it.
we've already sent the final findings to them too.
Yes.
So that was already done and over.
Yes.
So he at this point in time he would go into collections because you guys have made a final decision.
Was he present here and agreed to the reduction then?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he wants to show up at an election board meeting, we can address it that way. Otherwise, I mean, I don't. Again, it's been addressed.
I believe it was in February that we addressed this.
Yeah, it seemed like that name was from the first of the year we were particularly.
I think the thing that gets to be troubling on this is that we've already kind of had a hearing. We've issued final findings. You have a 30-day window to appeal that. I don't know what authority the board has now to go back into.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that one way or the other. I mean, if he wants to appear at a meeting, and I mean, I suppose have a conversation about a payment plan. I mean,
but we would do that through collections. A payment plan would be going through the collections process.
Well, I don't know that we've made that decision yet, though. Has that been
I
turned
think-
over to collections?
I think
Because my understanding is that he had reached out before any kind of collection communication had occurred to
He
him.
has not been communicated with from the collections agency. We're still collecting all the data that the collections agency needs.
Right.
And start reaching out to people.
So we're taking all the ones that we have, for all of those where we have issued final orders, we're in the process of giving that to the collection agency, and then from there, it would be he would probably talk to somebody through collections and say, I can't really do this, here's why. Collection agency can come back to us and say, do you want to compromise the claim?
Well, I mean, from my end of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. Whether he wants to come to us, we're the final decision maker. So whether he wants to go through the collection agency or come directly to us, either way, if he wants to appear at a meeting and have a conversation about that, that's the appropriate way in which I see it getting done.
I agree.
Okay, so we're gonna allow him to come in the interim, then what, we're going to hold collections on this gentleman pending the outcome of him seeing us.
No, you're gonna process and stuff like this.
We're gonna move.
Then he can come to us and stuff like this, or he can go to the collection, like Ethan said. But since
Okay.
the final decision ends with us, I'd shortcut it to us, and we'll work out if he wants to go payment and stuff like this. At that time, notify collections.
So I understand this to mean that we are going to continue with the process as we've already laid it out for ourselves in terms of collection. And in the interim, if this candidate wants to come forward, he comes to this meeting and addresses us, correct? So no action needed. Okay, thank you. All right, other business before this board. Seeing none, next meeting and upcoming deadlines.
Like was already mentioned, 11:59 tonight is the last time to get your absentee application in. On November 2nd, which is next Saturday, is inspector pickup from 9 to 1. That's when the inspectors will come pick up their supplies. So if anybody's available to help,
What is that date again?
the 2nd, November 2nd, next Saturday.
Next okay.
And then election day is November 5th. The certification will be the 15th. And then the election board meeting will be of December will be on the 18th. That is a change from our normally scheduled meeting.
When is it, Jess?
December 18th.
What time is that gonna start?
3.
3?
The certification will start at noon.
Oh, that's gonna start.
At noon.
And it'll start over in the elections office.
Okay, a second swipe at other business here by our agenda. So
Oh, whoops.
second swipe at the apple. All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all.
That was
Yeah, I told you.
question mark for
Yeah.
how things were.
I told you. I think before you're all said and done, you're gonna be either break the record or
How many registered voters?
at one point
I had like 140.